Hey guys, this is Chris. Happy Sunday morning. The lights are just coming on the tank. They're at about 30%. And I wanted to give everyone kind of a quick update. And I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to CJ. He's been talking a lot lately about nutrient export. I went back and watched his video on algae scrubbers. For those of you who watched my last video or two, you know I had a problem with diatoms. I ran a phosphate reactor. The silicates in the water really went down to next to nothing, and lo and behold, the diatom problem was gone. Now, however, I'm having an issue. I don't know if you could see it on that rock right there with cyano. And cyano kind of in really weird spots. You see some up there next to the red dragon. The bubbles in the water because I'm still doing the micro scrubbing, or the micro scrubbing is still on for a little while longer. You can see some cyano there. I kind of always was of the opinion that cyano was more a function of low flow and creating low areas where there's maybe a local high nutrient load, and you could kind of see some, well, it's not bad today, there was kind of some like at the bottom of the Euphilia here, there's some underneath that coral there where detritus tends to build. Now, that being said, my labs look really good. My phosphate level has been 0. And my phosphate reactor has been off for a little over a week now, and it's climbed up to 0.06. I run my KH a little high, that's 9.8. However, my nitrate has been definitely a little bit wacky. It kind of spiked a little bit. It was running, 2.55, 2.55 for the longest time, and then all of a sudden it jumped up to 25, where it hung out for a few weeks, and then I had what looked like a 50. I cleaned the sump, and it immediately dropped down to in the 10 to 25 range, and then since then it's back up to between 25 and 50. Now, I never made any changes to my sump. Let's take a look at it here. Get my arm behind water out of the way. It's pretty clean. That's a Brightwell export brick that's tainted with sulfa in the back. I'm running 2 cups with some filter floss in them just to kind of polish the water up. Those are 2, or that's a brick of Marine Pure that was split in half. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but back there about a week ago when I noticed the nitrate going up, I threw in a bunch of pond matrix just to provide more kind of filter area for everything. The other thing I did was I started using Dr. Tim's Waste Away and some more of his bacteria to see if I could jumpstart things there. But since nitrate is kind of an end product, you definitely have to export it. Now, here's my skimmer. I run kind of a wet skim, and that's about a day and a half worth of skimming. I'm just hanging charcoal in it. Like I said, I took down the phosphate reactor, and I had a carbon reactor set up. But here's the question. Okay, so I'm dealing with a cyano outbreak in a tank that was set up in March. So the tank's not even 3 months old yet, or maybe just about 3 months old. I'm seeing great growth in my corals. My Space Invader Pectinia, if you look at it compared to my old videos, it looks good. Candy canes look good. Blastomusa, SPS looks good, except for that piece right there. Interesting thing happened. My blue throat trigger kind of put himself in the flow for my Max Gyre and kind of just had himself laying against the rock there. I've never seen him do that, spanning the coral and the rock. And the side that he was laying against died off, so he definitely killed some tissue there. But I mean, if we look at everything here, my Deadpool zoas look good, Mandarin zoas look good, little mini Goniopora, micro Goniopora looks good. Clam just hasn't opened up yet because of the light. You know, my Efflo is growing. The rest of my SPS looks pretty darn good. My Avilopora garden looks great. And then my other Pectinia looks great as well. Sunny D's, Trach, Cephastria, War Coral, Bazooka Joe, Chalice, Utter Chaos. Everything looks good. So the question becomes, what do I want to do? What should I do? So after much thought and deliberation, I've actually decided to buy an algae scrubber. And I think the reason I'm doing this is because I am dosing some Nopox, and that had been very effective. The people at Red Sea said I may have been having a nitrate spike because there wasn't enough phosphate to fire up the bacteria, so it might not work as well as it should have. So I've actually ordered from 302 Aquatics an algae scrubber, and I will be leaving on vacation in 2 weeks. So my goal kind of was to leave things and let them ride until after I got back from vacation. You know, you never want to do anything when you are going away and you're not going to be monitoring the tank yourself. But, you know, I'm concerned about the Cyano. I don't want to come back to a whole tank worth of Cyano, and I don't want to throw anything else in here like red slime away or any of that. So anybody got, you know, has had this kind of problem before, let me know. The other thing I think I'm going to be doing at some point is actually getting rid of these Max Gyres. You know, I love them. I love them on my 125. My 125 was only 18 inches wide. This tank is definitely wider. I just don't feel like they're pushing as much water as they possibly as they should. My Rockscape, even though it looks a little bit like it would be blocking the flow, there's kind of plenty of flow around it. So, you know, the dead areas or the areas where there's cyano, there's enough flow that when those gyres are ramped up, you know, things are definitely moving there. And you could see, you know, my sand here overnight is definitely blown away. So, you know, I guess I have a couple of choices to make. Switch over to a different kind of flow system. Swap out my Jabo return pump. I've been a little unhappy with that lately. And do a couple of things, but, you know, maybe add a couple of more little pumps on the back, but I don't know. It's definitely a work in progress. I think the first step is going to be to get the algae reactor online and just pull the nitrate out of the water. Alright guys, anybody has any suggestions, thoughts, please give me a shout out. Hopefully you like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.